Hello, everybody. Sorry I couldn't be there today. My littlest one is sick today, so um, I'm still going to teach you through this video. So you're going to want to pay attention and take notes just like as if I was there. So today we're going to solve equations with a variable on both sides of the equal sign. So let's jump right into it. You see an example here. Some friends went to see a movie that is showing at two different theaters in town. They plan to share 3 tubs of popcorn during the movie. So we know they're getting 3 tubs of popcorn. Okay. Which movie theater should they choose? Well, hopefully you're questioning, well, how many friends is some friends? Depends on that because theater A is going to cost more if there's more people because the ticket prices are higher. The popcorn's cheaper, but the ticket prices are higher. Theater B is going to be cheaper for more people. So, um, a good idea here is to figure out, okay, when would they be the same cost or when would they have the same cost? So, I'm going to write an equation. So, I'm going to just do that in the box there. So, this is something you might want to write down. Okay, so we're going to write an expression for theater A. So, for theater A, it's going to cost $14.50 per person. We don't know how many people there are. We're going to say X is the number of people. Okay, sorry, my writing's not the greatest on here. All right, so 1450X for the ticket prices, but they're also going to get 3 tubs of popcorn, which are 575 a piece. Okay, then for theater B, it's $13 per person, but it's a little bit more expensive for the popcorn. So these two sides are not going to be equal all the time, but there is a time when they will be, and we're going to try and figure that out. Okay, so we're going to solve this equation. Now you notice that there's an X on both sides. One of the first things we want to do is when you get those X's together. Now, in the past, we've split up the 13 and the X by dividing or multiplying. Here we want to move the whole X over, so I'm going to subtract 13X from both sides. All right, so 1450X minus 13X is 150X. So I'm kind of going down here. Sorry. Plus, well, how much would the popcorn cost? 575 times 3 is 1725. And that's equal to whatever 675 times 3 is, which is $20.25. So we're going to subtract that. Now it's an equation that you're used to seeing. We did this last week. So I have 150X. Sorry, I'm going up here. I'm out of room here. Equals 3. Divide by 150. You should get 2. So what does that mean in this problem? That means the two theaters would cost the exact same amount for 2 people. So if they're taking more than 2 people, which theater would make more sense? Well, it'd be theater B. It's cheaper per ticket. Which one would make more sense if it's exactly 2 people? Well, then it wouldn't matter, right? And if it was somebody going solo, then theater A would be the one to go to. Not sure why they would get 3 tubs of popcorn, but that would be the one to go to. All right, so next, an actual just equation here. Let's just solve it. If you want to give this a shot first and you don't want me to teach it right away, pause me. It's a nice thing you can do here is you can pause me and you can try it. So I'm going to jump right in. Okay. These two are already on the same side of the equal sign. So I'm going to combine those to make 7x minus 10. I'm not doing opposite operation with those. I'm distributing the -2. That gives me -2x. -2 times -4 is +8, +9. So I'm going to go ahead and combine those. 7x minus 10 equals -2x plus 17. I'm going to add 2x to both sides. I get 9x minus 10 equals 17. I'm going to now add 10, divide by 9. From here, it should be pretty quick. 9x equals 27, divide by 9, x equals 3. Okay. If you made a mistake on that, see if you can figure out where that mistake happened. Okay. All right. Fractions. Told you you can clear these, and you can. You could do it first step. I'm going to do one thing first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this 7 because that 7 can kind of get in the way here. I'm going to move it over to the other side. So now I've got 1/2 n minus 4 equals negative 2n plus 13. Now, before I clear the fraction, I do want you to understand you could definitely just distribute the 1/2 in. Let's do 1/2 n minus 2 and go that route. You could do that. I'm going to go ahead and clear it though. So I'm going to multiply by 2 on both sides. That 2 is going to cancel this fraction, leaving me with just n minus 4 equals, and then I have to distribute the 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4n. 2 times 13 is 26. I add 4n to both sides, giving me 5n minus 4 equals 26. And you can do this part quickly. Add 4 to both sides, you get 30. Divide by 5, you get n equals 6. Right? So that's solving a couple equations there with variables on both sides. There's a special situation that might happen. And you'll see that here. So let me show you with this one. Okay. Go ahead and pause me, distribute that 2 and see what happens. Okay. Hopefully you did that. And distribute this 2 here. I get 4x plus 6 equals 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 3 is 6. Those two things are identical. Okay. You'll see what happens here. When I subtract 4x, what happens to the x's? Well, they cancel on both sides of the equal sign, and I'm left with 6 equals 6. When you have the variables cancel, okay, so you want to write this down. Variables cancel. Okay. If the remaining numbers are equal, it's an identity. It means it has infinitely many solutions. What it means is every number for x will work. If you don't believe me, try it. Pick a number for x, put it in for x on both sides. The two sides will be equal, which means it's a solution. Okay. Let me go ahead and go to the next one here. I'm leaving this stuff up here because I want you to see what happens on this one. Okay. So with this one, I'm going to distribute the 2 again. I get 6x minus 5 equals 6x plus 8. You can see that the 6x's are going to cancel again on both sides, and I'm left with negative 5 equals 8. That's not true. If the variables cancel and the remaining numbers are not equal, I spelled remaining wrong, then this has no solutions. No value for x will make this true. You cannot do it. Okay. So when the variables cancel, you have two situations. Make sure you make note of that. This only happens when the variables cancel on both sides. Okay. There are times, something like this, let's say 3x plus 8 equals 8. I move 8 over here, I get 3x equals 0. A lot of people think this is no solutions. Well, there's still a variable there. The variables didn't cancel. This is one solution, and that solution is 0. And that is a number. So that one has one solution. It's when the variables cancel completely on both sides that you have either an identity or no solutions. Okay. We're going to go ahead and skip that one for now. We're going to look at this one as our last one here. So Cameron pays 95 cents per song with his current music service. A new music download service charges 89 cents per song, but there's a $12 joining fee. So he's getting a little bit of a break, 6 cents per song, but he has a $12 joining fee. Should Cameron switch to the new service? Well, it depends on his music downloads, right? So it all depends on how many downloads he makes. So I'm going to set that as my variable, number of downloads. Okay. Well, right now he's paying 95 cents per song. Okay. So 95 cents times the number of songs. The new plan, I'm going to go over a little bit further, would be 89 cents per song. So cheaper, but there's a $12 fee at the beginning. So we're trying to figure out, okay, when would those two plans have the same cost for what number of downloads? Okay. So I'm going to move the 89 cents per to the other side. And like I said, you're saving 6 cents per song. How many songs would it take to make up the $12? This is where a calculator is going to come into play here. We started with decimals on this one, so you can have decimals. Good news is I think this one works out nicely. 12 divided by 0.06 ends up being exactly 200. So if he's not a big downloader of music, he only thinks he's going to download, I don't know, 50 songs or so, he should probably stick with his original plan. But if he's a big downloader of music, 200 songs is no big deal to him. Anything after 200 songs, he's going to start making saving some money. Okay, so that's how that works. Um, so I'm done teaching, but I want to show you a couple things at the end of this here. So there's a good synopsis. Good thing here for your no solutions and identities. Remember, if the variables don't cancel, you will have one solution. Okay. And yeah, that's kind of it for that. Reminder, make sure you are doing the Math Excel. So you should have time today to do that in class. Work together. I told the sub that you were allowed to do that. Shoot me emails with questions. I will try to be watching, but yeah, with the sick son, we'll see. Hopefully see you tomorrow. If not, see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.